All right, welcome back. This is Doyle Buehler, and this is topic number 3 about the digital experience. And this is obviously part of it. If you've been keeping track, this is part of an ongoing process, an ongoing series of other videos and other content related to a new business book that I'm writing for disruptors in the digital space and focused for marketers, businesses, and entrepreneurs. So it's my belief that you don't necessarily need to be a tech startup to actually disrupt your industry. And you can do it with some insights into the industry and how you can actually put this together. So anyway, this video is about digital experience, and it kind of all the pieces come together in terms of a lot of questions that I've had asked are, or just statements that I've heard. It's like, oh, I need a new website. And what typically happens, and then obviously there's exceptions to this, but what typically happens is that when somebody says that, what they actually get at the end of the day is just a new website with some new colors and some new sections and maybe a few new pictures here and there to make it look good. And that's really important, but it's missing sort of the fundamental value, the business side of it that I've talked about so many times, that the business side is missing from it. So yes, you might have a new fancy website, but it's going to not deliver what you expect, because the way the website was developed in the first place is very linear, very sequential. Contact us. We're a great company. Come do business with us, which, it does work some of the time, don't get me wrong, but the transformation, the disruption comes from being able to say, I need to build out a process. I need to build out a platform that enables my business to be better, not just look better, not just have more pictures or whatever the case may be. And one thing that we hear awful lot about is, the user experience. And I don't really like the word of user because, what are they? They're not users. It's your audience. So maybe we should call a spade and say, yeah, users seem so disconnected and so far out there. Maybe something like your digital experience audience, or something related to that. It's your audience at the end of the day. It's not you're doing a performance, right? You don't have users. If you go to a theater, all the people sitting in the theater, would you call them users? Probably not. So that's the same sort of similar circumstance. It's like you're performing your business activities and that sort of thing. So your audience is out there listening and watching and seeing and looking at how you can help them, and again creating that relevance and value that I also talk about a lot. But the user experience, or the audience experience, the digital audience experience perhaps is what we could call it, it needs to be part of that process. And oftentimes we really forget that it's a brochure site. It's not connected properly to your content and your insights and that sort of thing. So that's really what you have to think about when you say, I need a new website. You have to think about, okay, well, what is that person going to do? What value am I going to provide? How are they going to see that value, and how are they going to be able to interpret and then obviously move them through that process so that they do become a customer or a client, or even just more aware of you as you get into it. So it's important to develop this digital audience experience as you get into it, and ask your developer to produce something that's not just a visual change, that has some substance to it, so that you can actually speak with your audience, so you can create that relevancy and that saliency as well. And it's really, really important. And further to that, it comes down to, if you're talking digital experiences, like a real life example would be something like your 5-star hotels, where you know what you're going to get, right? What you get is, if you're looking for a 5-star and can afford one, then you go for a 5-star hotel. And if you obviously budget conscious or whatever, if you look at a 2-star or 3-star, whatever the case may be, I don't even think they measure 1-star hotel, but that's beside the point. The fact is that you can tell what that experience is going to be because you've been able to assess it as a digital, or well, in this case, not a digital experience, but in case of a real life experience. And perhaps the idea, the concept here is that why don't we actually think more about all that process, about, you know, your digital ecosystem as a digital experience, you know, worth remembering. So can you categorize that? Do you want to deliver a 5-star digital experience, or do you want to deliver, or are you okay delivering a 1-star digital experience? And if you look at it from that perspective, you actually see that, you know, a 5-star has certain things. Has a pool, a workroom, a business room, you know, certain types of furnishings and offices, and, you know, all those good things that come with nice hotels. So do you want to be able to deliver that? But you have to step up and say, well, my digital experience is a 5-star digital experience. And I think if you look at that again, it's taking in all these pieces. It's not just that your hotel is built on a certain piece of land. It's that it has, you know, XYZ ABC type thing, and you have to consider that as sort of your digital ecosystem, that you need to have all these pieces. It's not just about your website. And that comes back to, you know, creating a great digital experience. Yes, it's a part of it, but it's not the end all and be all. They're going to see you other places. They're going to interact with you other places as well. And so you need to be prepared to understand that and to build that. So I guess my point is that, yeah, what kind of digital experience are you delivering? You know, one that's going to, your audience is going to remember. So take a look at, you know, what's really important for you and for your digital ecosystem, and what are you going to do with those so that they actually can say, hey, this is a 5-star digital experience, or this is a 3-star digital experience, and build that into your business, and build that into, you know, as you build out your digital ecosystem. And I did write down, you know, five items to sort of help develop your digital audience experience. And the first one is intellectual, right? So it must engage the mind of the user and stimulate what they know or don't know about you and your business. It must be engaging, right? So give the sense that your audience is doing something useful, fun, entertaining, practical, you know, whatever it is that your business wants to be known for. Number 3, you need an entry point, okay? You need a starting point to say, hey, this is our beginning interaction. This is where we need to start. And keep in mind that then we obviously need to progress them through, but, you know, number 4 is we need an exit point as well. So do you have one, right? The checkout process, you know, is that clean? Is it helpful? Is it, you know, taking your full business into account and that sort of thing? And the 5th one is intrinsic value, right? So that's about sort of understanding, well, this was a great experience, because you're going to talk about it after. I went to this hotel and it was wonderful. They had, you know, these plush seats in the foyer, and they were very helpful, and the pool and the restaurants were all super fantastic. So it was something that I'll remember, and that's sort of that intrinsic value that you get as you know, build that experience as well. So yeah, so that's basically it. You know, look at the digital experience, how you sort of engage your, not user, right? I could, you know, there's some other metaphors for users that I'm sure aren't that appealing, but it's your audience, and you're talking to somebody, not just some random person. So look at that. You know, are you building a digital audience experience that helps you sort of structure, you know, a 5-star, sort of a 5-star experience for your guests, for your audience, for your customers, for your clients, whatever it is. So hopefully that was helpful. As I've said before, I'd love if you could follow along. I'm writing the book and detailing out the sections as I write them, or either before or after. And again, it's not in any particular order. It's just rough editing. It's rough ideas. So editing comes next as well. So it's my 30,000 word challenge taking place over the next 30 days. So I really appreciate you watching. Would love to hear your feedback, your insights, your comments, whatever it is. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Check out some of the other posts. Go to disruptors.digital to sign up and get updates automatically sent to you. So thanks again, and we'll see you online.